Welcome everybody to the TSDitto Reactions channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today is going to be a good one. So remember to stick with me to the end, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notifications button. Please feel free to comment and I definitely will reply back. Let's get into the video.
The Air Force is on record as saying, quote, they want to control the weather by 2025, and we are not talking about just seeding the clouds for rain. Weather modification means, quote, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere, unquote. And as of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with a toxic brew of chemicals and other biologic agents. Just want to show you something. We have two different kinds of trails in the sky right now. One are called contrails. How many of you know what contrails are? Contrails are what have been around from the ends of planes since World War II. These are very, very short exhaust trails that usually evaporate within a few minutes. You just look up at the sky and you'll just see a jet, sometimes with 4 trails, but it evaporates pretty quickly. How many of you know what chemtrails are? Nobody. The military and some commercial planes are spraying us with what are called chemtrails. I want you to look at and oftentimes before there's a weather front, there are heavy assaults from these planes just before a weather front is changed and comes in. Military and some commercial jets have been fitted with huge barrels of at least 49 different kinds of documented chemical poisons. Among other documented ingredients in this toxic man-made clouds are pathogenic molds, fungi, weaponized viruses, and made in some places like the secret site at Fort Detrick, Maryland, which is supposed to be a cancer site. But there are a number of scholars and professors tracking this that have big questions about this. Barium and nanoalumin particles. What do these do to the human body? Barium is an alkaline earth mineral. It was discovered in 1774. At low doses, it can act as a muscle stimulant. At high doses, it detrimentally affects the heart and the nervous system. Barium is toxic to all mammals, and that means not just humans. Aluminum, which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, is known to diminish kidney function and destroy brain cells and cognitive function. Just think about it. Just between the aluminum and the mercury that we're breathing all the time, we've got already a serious issue about brain function and cognitive function. There is also documented evidence that the aluminum in chemtrails is released as nanoparticles, and that when they reach the Earth environment for wildlife, in lakes and streams, it's causing serious problems with wildlife there. Researchers are also finding that nanoparticles interfere with the growth of plants. Nanotechnology is totally unregulated. Just this past month, a new research report came out showing and documenting for the first time that these nanoparticles actually go through the skin. Well, if you breathe them, whether they go through the skin or whether you're inhaling them, it's still a problem, a serious problem.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law.
What are these towers, and why are they popping up all over New York City. In the 90s and early 2000s, we had payphones. Then in the 2010s, we replaced them with these digital panels. And now in the 2020s, we're replacing them yet again with these 32-foot tall 5G antennas. Wireless speeds have been steadily climbing since the 1980s, with each G representing a new generation of wireless speed. These towers are meant to support the 5th generation of wireless technology, abbreviated as 5G. But not all 5G is created equal. If you're not on Wi-Fi, you're probably watching this video on 5G right now. But this is what's called mid-band 5G, and it's today's current standard for modern smartphones. High-band 5G, on the other hand, is about 5 times faster. And these towers are meant to support both types. The only catch? High-band 5G doesn't have great range and has trouble passing through structures. So to make it work in New York City, you need tons of antennas at street level near the devices that they enable. That's what these towers are. And it's expected that there are going to be 4,000 of them built by 2026. This map shows where they're both currently built and where they're being proposed. And they're building all of these without spending any public money. Instead, they're using the city bike model, in which a private company can lease public space in exchange for what is considered a citywide public benefit. In this case, the private company behind these towers plans to recoup their investment in 2 key ways: advertising dollars generated by these little screens, and more importantly, leasing space within the tower itself to the main telecom providers to enable better mid-band and high-band 5G on your device. The only issue is that the carriers aren't sold yet on using these towers for their 5G equipment. And out of the 200 towers that have already been built, only 2 of them are actually providing 5G coverage, meaning that most of them are functionally the same to the old kiosks that they replaced, just way uglier. But if the bet ultimately pays off, these towers will become the foundation of a hyper-connected New York City, supporting not just your phone, but delivery drones, self-driving cars, and real-time urban data. It's a big bet on the future, almost as big as the towers themselves.
We got some crazy breaking news from President Donald Trump this morning. So you're going to want to get comfortable, get your popcorn, and listen to this video very carefully because it could affect you. So President Trump just announced a $5 trillion tax bill called the One Big Beautiful Bill. I'm going to go through the 9 main things it does as quick as possible so you can get on with your day, but still understand how this can affect you. 1, it's going to eliminate taxes on tips and overtime. 2, it raises the child tax credit from $2,000 to $2,500. 3, there is a new car interest deduction worth up to $10,000. So if you're making payments on a car, you may be able to write off a portion of that on your taxes. 4, it brings back the 100% bonus depreciation for business owners. So if you are a business owner and you purchase a vehicle such as a G-Wagon, you will possibly have the ability to write that entire cost off even if you put $0 down and finance it. 5, you remember a while back we were going crazy up with a $600 1099 limit for things like Cash App and Venmo? Well, that goes away. And the new proposed amount is $20,000 and 200 transactions. It's both of them. 6, it increases the standard deduction for seniors by $4,000. 7, it introduces something called a MAGA savings account, which is for kids born between 2005 and 2028. The government is going to put in $1,000 and allow parents to contribute an additional $5,000. 8, it raises the SALT cap deduction from $10,000 to $30,000. And 9, it wants to eliminate the IRS free file program. The House is expected to pass this bill by Memorial Day with the overall goal of getting this bill signed into law by July 4th, 2025. If you are a content creator or entrepreneur that needs professional tax help, head to the link in my bio to become a client. My name is Duke and to make taxes very easy to understand, give me a follow to stay educated.
Listen, you ever seen a rocket ship take off? When Elon Musk always had a rocket ship take off?
Yep.
They go straight up in the air, but then they curve. But then they curve and they go like this. And they keep on going like this until they get out of sight. And then they land right behind that wall. The wall I'm telling you about, because the earth flat. There's no such thing as up. Let's look at my mama. Yeah, ask your viewers about that.
Well, where did they land?
It land behind the ice wall. And the ice wall is where the sun don't reach. It's no light. It's completely dark. And that's like what really controlling the world, over there in the darkness. That's all I'm on. That a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
I just want to keep it real.
Have you ever been there before?
I just told you they won't let me go, right? They don't let nobody go, right? But like, everybody, all the elites, they been there, but I can't go. They won't let nobody go to Alaska. Go to Alaska right now, and they're gonna stop you at a certain point to where you can't go. Because you can't get to the ice wall. They'll lock you in. So it's like two things you can't do. You can't get out the body and you can't get out the earth. You kind of like locked and locked. You locked in the earth and you locked in your body. That's what I want. I can't make this up.
See, Chris Brown knew as soon as he entered the UK, he was getting arrested. But it's not just his problem. The thousands that have bought tickets from Manchester, London and Cardiff, they may not even get a refund. Ticket insurance covers illness or injury, but not an artist in custody. The incident that he's been arrested for happened over 2 years ago at a nightclub in central London, Mayfair. A music producer named Abraham was also in the club that night. He allegedly approached Chris, believing they were friends. But Chris allegedly picked up a bottle of Don Julio 1942 and he swung that bottle. Abraham was on the floor and Chris allegedly carried on swinging. Chris's representative stated he planned to go to the station for questioning after the incident, but Chris, he was able to fly back to the United States and he's not been back to the UK since, until now. Allegedly, there's CCTV and eyewitnesses. He was in court today and he was denied bail. He will next appear in court for his hearing on the 13th of June, just 2 days before his Manchester show.
The Aurora Borealis, or whatever they call it in Australia, Aurora Australis, whatever, it's the same thing. It went crazy, y'all, for 2 nights in a row. Do you guys see this? This that cosmic fire that they talk about, y'all. These colors are so vibrant and so bright, y'all. Now, in Australia, it's really uncommon to see the Aurora Australis. That's why, like, you know, they have their own type of name for it. The colors were so intense, it literally turned nighttime into daytime, and I guess people were getting married. Y'all, look at that, y'all. That's just crazy. Like, this is intense. Do you guys see the color? It looks just like, what is that, like pink candy, rock candy, and it looks like a watermelon, don't it, y'all? It looks just like a watermelon. Look at that. That's why we love watermelon. See, I be telling you, nature has a sense of humor, and a lot of people don't understand the sense of human nature, but, you know, I get it. You feel me? They make fun of us for loving watermelon, and here is nature, right, giving us a big, look at the seeds, y'all. Look at the seeds. The clouds are the seeds. Literally, you can't make this shift up. And it goes hand in hand with that KFC commercial that just came out that shows them doing, like, you know, cannibalistic stuff. You feel me? It's crazy, man. I'm telling y'all, nature has a sense of humor. You already know, y'all, this means big shifts are coming. Look at that. And this is that cosmic fire, that cosmic radiation that's going to be all over the planet, and this is changing us at a genetic level. But let me know what you guys think about this video. The shift is here. Y'all can see it. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
No doubt, negativity. Father, Mother, God, we thank you for everyone standing.
So if it wasn't enough for you so-called Christians that when Beyonce said, I take the pages of the Bible and I stuff my you-know-what at that time of the month, right? If that wasn't enough for you to stop supporting her, if it wasn't enough when you see the demonic imagery and the costumes and things that she's wearing and the performances, all the witchcraft and stuff, if that wasn't enough for you to stop supporting her as a Christian, if it wasn't enough when you saw her and Jay-Z associated with that Amabrovich witch, right? If that wasn't enough, this gotta be enough for you as a Christian to be like, nah, I gotta stop defending Beyonce. If you can't see now as a believer, we got a problem in the black church. Y'all praying for Rihanna to be blessed and to be anointed, and Tasha Cobbs praying for Beyonce, you know, to be praying for her greatness and things like that. Hey, we need to be praying they repent so they don't go to hell.
This is a vast left-wing conspiracy. They all knew. Everybody knew that Joe Biden had dementia, and they didn't care. They covered it up because they wanted to remain in power. just like Democrats did on January 6th, Republicans should have hearings prime time. They should call every top Biden advisor. They should sit them down, put them under oath, and they should quiz them about when they knew that Joe Biden had dementia. And they should hold up all of the lies that were told. Everyone needs to see this because effectively we did not have a president for much of Biden's term in office. He was unable to mentally or physically do the job. And if they want to argue, as Joe Biden himself did, that it was the worst day in America since the Civil War for the fact that the January 6th event, Kamala Harris said it, Joe Biden said it. If they want to make that argument in public, then Republicans should have public hearings on a far more significant issue here, which is Joe Biden's mental and physical inability to be president of the United States. And everyone who argued against people like me, Washington Post, New York Times, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, all of these people, they should have to cover and acknowledge how wrong they all were. And again, it was a vast left-wing conspiracy. The only reason these stories are being told now is because Biden's not in office. If Biden had somehow won re-election, and if they had run the Weekend at Bernie's 2 campaign, and they had dragged him across the finish line, none of this would be public. Make no mistake, the goal of Jake Tapper's book is to cleanse him from the complicity of the lies that he's told. Now, I'm not going to give Jake Tapper a lot of credit, but I will say the only reason the media is covering this story is because it's a book written by Jake Tapper, who is seen as someone of the left. If I wrote this book and had the exact same sources, nobody would cover it on the left. If Buck wrote the book, nobody would cover it. If Jesse Waters wrote the book, if Sean...
I don't care who wrote the book, but if you're going to go in on Joe Biden, please go doubly hard on 47 for all the false truths or false news that have come out of 45 and 47 in its entirety. Okay? So 46 did not do as much negativity as 45 plus 47 combined. Old dude had dementia. We saw it unfold. But everything 45 and 47 told was false news. My opinion, everything I say is a joke. None of this is real. Or is it?
Hannity wrote the book. No one would cover it. The reason it is being covered is because a CNN anchor is one of the co-authors of this book, which is out next week. And again, there needs to be congressional hearings on all of this.
Why is it that on every continent of the earth, all the indigenous people are black people? Where did the white human come from? Why is it that everywhere they go, they're in a rush to harvest all the natural materials and all the resources? Why are they the best group of killers our planet ever seen? How can they organize themselves so well, better than everybody else? Why do they want to colonize every place that they go, like they've never been here before? Things you gotta think about. Why is it that everywhere they go, they're in a rush to harvest all the natural materials and all the resources? Why are they the best group of killers our planet ever seen? How can they organize themselves so well, better than everybody else?
Well, there you go. An end of a really good video. Thank you so much for joining me. We've experienced a lot in this particular video. Our very, very talented Chris Brown. Please control your anger and your indulgence in violent behavior. You're so talented, and we need you. And as a mother of children in your age group, I said once to my dearly departed daughter, you are a role model. And she threw it back at me. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You are our future. You have children yourself, Mr. Brown. And do you really want them to see this behavior as they grow up and you get more mature as you mature and they see the past? Would you want them to carry on that legacy? 607 Unc or Unc 607, I'm not sure. You're new to my realm of understanding. Where do you get your information from? I mean, it seems so real, but are you channeling? Or is it coming to you in a dream? My stuff comes to me in a dream, but I just don't know. People are listening, people are watching, and I know for my own self, can't wait to see what you're going to say next, or hear what you're going to say next, or see you say what you're going to say next. But again, thank everyone for joining, and you are my Ditto family. Please comment, like, subscribe, and hit those notifications. I'll see you in the future with the next video on some really hot, juicy topics. See you again next time.